Alright, welcome everybody. Eugene Hughes Motorized. Let me show you how you can build this arch tensioner. How you can build it using very simple hand tools, using a vise, using a hammer, and using something to bend your steel with here and to get it into the correct shape. Now this is an arch tensioner off a Motorized bicycle. I market these, I sell these. I sell them with a big fat skateboard wheel here. You can use the stock roller wheel here, a 5/16 by 18 3-inch bolt, a 1/4 inch washer that goes inside. We've got the stock, the little spacer that comes with the stock tensioner here, and then you can stack up. I put 3 5/16 inch washers, flat washers on it. Then I put a 5/16 inch fender washer, big fat fender washer that goes against the arch tensioner, and then on the other side a 5/16 inch flat fender washer, and then a 5/16 18 nylock nut to hold everything down. You need to get enough washers so you can space. Let's see, let's get this turned here, so you can get the wheel where the chain is going to track on it. You will also need to take into account, once you get this on here, let's see here, let me get it. The wheel may be a little off kilter with respect to the center line, to a straight line that your chain wants to track, and that's because of the way the rear end of the bike, the frame of the bike is. If it's angled out, that may mean that your chain tensioner, the wheel is going to track a little differently, and you might need to do a little adjusting, a little bending here, so the chain tracks true on the center, okay? But let me show you how you can bend steel. Now, I use 3/8 inch square bar. You can use round bar, 3/8 inch, 1/2 inch. You can either go either way. Go with what you can get at the hardware store or what you've got laying around. You can also go to the hardware store. It's pretty easy to find, is threaded rod, 3/8 or 1/2 inch threaded rod. You can get them for about $7 for a 36 inch piece, and that's all you need here. You're just going to start with an 18 inch, and this here is longer than that, an 18 inch minimum piece of steel here, and we're just going to bend it, okay? Now let me show you the thought process behind this. Here's a 26 inch wheel, and the tensioner is just basically going to go here in relation to the wheel, and you want to make sure that the idler wheel, your roller wheel here, will be able to track in this area here. If we have it too far out, it's going to strike the rim. Too far in, it's going to hit the spokes, because the spokes are angled to where they come from the hub, and they come in much thinner here, much narrower here. So we've got basically where you have the center line where the mounting bolt for the roller wheel goes, is going to be on about an 8 inch. Eight and a half inches, 8 inches from the center of the axle. So you've got an 8.5 inch radius here to do it. So what you can do is just take you a piece of wire and bend it and keep it into account the diameter of whatever wheel you got, and you want it to ride. Let me get it to where we can see it here. My fat thumb isn't in the way. To where it rides about here, okay? About this distance, not so far out where it strikes the rim, but not so far in where it's going to be hitting the spokes, okay? Now, when I make these here, normally what I do is I've got this little jig here that I made up. The bar will go in here. I will put it on my anvil and then bend the bar here to conform to this here. then I cut it, then I'll go in and tune it up and adjust it. I have this little jig here which helps me approximate the space here. Basically I lay one here for the inner, one for the outer, and then I clamp in the little piece here that goes on the ends, tack it up, and then finish it. Then I go ahead and tune it here, okay? So there's a lot of different ways you can do this. You don't have to make the jigs that I've got here. I just use these here to make it a lot quicker for me to build these here. So all I'm going to do, I've got this here that I use sometimes to bend metal, and if I strike it right here, okay, let's zero in on it a little bit here. Okay, if I strike right here, it's going to bend it. And you can see there we've already got it, okay? Now another way I will do this is I will lay this here and I will strike right in this area here to bend it. Okay, and we're getting there, and I need to bend it just a little. I bent it too hard here. Okay, we've got too much of a bend here, and I can flatten that out easy enough. And we're not bent enough here. We're still pretty straight right in that area there. Now this one here I've already bent. This one is going to be my inner one, and this one here is going to be the outer one. Okay, and we need to bend it just a little bit more from this area here to this area here. Okay, I want to bend it a little bit more here. Okay, now as you can see here, I've got this bent too far. I'm going to need to straighten this out a little bit here. We're ready to weld. I'm going to go ahead and cut it right there where my thumbnail is. Okay, I'm going to cut it right here where my thumbnail is. And let's proceed. Okay, so we need to cut it right there. And as well, what I do, I keep some of these little pieces here on hand. And let me get my... And we got that right there. Okay, so we've got our two pieces here. We still got some areas here that we need to adjust. That's not a big deal right now. So we've got these two little pieces that I cut here, and we're going to weld those into place here. And here, and we're going to make it look like this right here. So all we got to do is weld it here on the edge, here, grind it off, and then we're good to go. Then we'll come back and adjust this here. Okay, so I need some practice on my stick welder here. And this is just a 6011 rod here, and I'm going to weld this up with my stick welder. It's not the best way to weld these here, but it's what I want to practice on. Okay, and I can see here that this here is bent up. So I'm just going to take this and give it some love taps there to flatten it out. And that's good enough. All right, so we're a little bit open here. And all I'm going to do beat that down a little bit. All right, and there we go. That is good enough here with the fender washer. That is going to be firmly and securely mounted on it. Okay, so there we go. We've got that welded up. We got it ground off here. And basically what I'll do is you can take the stock idler wheel here, and I will take a 5/16 18 by 3 inch bolt. A 1/4 inch washer just barely fits on it here, and it fits inside here, okay? So And as well, we want to make sure that the pressure is just against this insert here on the inside. So that's why we use the washer here. Then you've got the spacer that comes with the stock wheel that goes in there. So you've got your arch tensioner here. What I will do is I will take 3 5/16 flat washers. Okay, and then I take a 5/16 1.25 washer. That's just a bit, basically a fender washer. And that goes against the arch tensioner. Okay? So that way we've got a good generous area of surface here against the tensioner. On the outer side, I put another 5/16 1.25 fender washer, a standard 5/16 inch washer, and then I will take a 5/16 nylock nut and put that against the arch tensioner. Okay, so I tell you what, all you got to do now is paint this and you're going to be in good shape. Let me say this here. I'm going to paint this up, package everything up here with all the nylock hardware, the U-bolts here. The first person who can correctly post the name of this hound dog right here, lives in the U.S., I will mail this out to him as a... Who's a good girl? Huh? Who's a good girl? As a bonus, if you remember the name of this old flea-bitten hound dog right here, okay? Alright, so if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. There's a subscribe button down there somewhere. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Thanks now.